Hi there, Misfits. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I am going to talk all about the Sweet Venom series. You ready to find out about my Medusa girls? If you don't know about the Sweet Venom series, it is about triplet monster hunting descendants of Medusa who protect us humans from the mythological monsters that are walking the streets of San Francisco that we who do not have mythological blood cannot see. One of the questions I always get asked about every book series is, where did I get the inspiration? The idea for the Sweet Venom series actually came from a magazine. I was flipping through a magazine, a fashion magazine, probably something like In Style, and they had a two-page spread about snake themed accessories. So they had like snakeskin clutches and like little earrings and rings with snakes on them and like everything serpenty. And I saw it and I was like, ooh, I really don't like snakes, but this spread is really cool. And because I write about mythology, I was already writing Oh My Gods, or had sold Oh My Gods at that time. Um, I knew immediately that I wanted to like do something with this inspiration. And when you think Greek mythology and you think snakes, you automatically think Medusa, or at least I do. So that was the very initial idea. Uh, if you have read my blog post about twisting mythology, you will see how I took um, that initial idea of Medusa and what we think we know about Medusa from like the mythological narrative that has been passed down through generations, how I took that and turned that into this idea that she had descendants who are actually monster hunters and not monsters themselves. So that is the inspiration. Fashion magazines, you never know. So, I want to tell you about the books in the series. Sweet Venom is actually a trilogy. So, it is three books, and the three triplets each have point of view scenes in every book, and their stories go across all three books. So, it's really like reading 12 books in one because each triplet has a story in each book and in the overarching trilogy story. The first book, where the series gets its name, of course, is Sweet Venom. You can see this is a very pretty cover. I don't know if the new editions have the same textured and spot gloss. But Sweet Venom is the first book in which we meet the triplets, uh, Grace, Gretchen, and Greer. At this point, when the series starts, Gretchen already lives in San Francisco. She had kind of a bad home life and ran away from home at the age of 12, and was found by someone on the streets who taught her how to hunt these monsters. So Gretchen is a tough girl who has been working the streets of San Francisco to like save us from monsters for a few years now. Grace, who is the sweet triplet, has just moved to San Francisco from where her family used to live around Sacramento. Um, and Grace is the super smart one. She is good at computers. She got a scholarship to this very prestigious private school in San Francisco, which is why her family moved there. And then the third triplet, which we don't really meet until about halfway through the first book, is Greer, who is, let's just say, she is from a family of wealth and power, and she knows it. So she's a little bit snobby and not exactly ready to just upend her entire life and her social schedule in order to hunt monsters. So the first book is kind of about the triplets finding each other and coming together and figuring out what they are. Um, the second book is called Sweet Shadows. Um, in this, the triplets are trying to kind of figure out how to work together, and a lot more exciting things happen. Of course, I can't tell you what happens in the second and third books without being big spoilers of the first book. So you'll just have to read them. And then the third book, which wraps it all up and, comes to the kind of happy ending with, of course, questions for the future. But Sweet Legacy. When we did the covers for these books, we actually did a photo shoot. So these are all the same model, made to look like the different sisters. So this first one is supposed to be Grace, like the kind of sweet one. This is the She looks kind of shy, like she can't face the camera. The second book is supposed to be Gretchen, who is the kind of like in your face, tough chick who's already like hunting the monsters. And then on the third cover is Greer, who's kind of the snobby one. She's wearing some makeup and a sparkly glitter tank top, which she actually wears in the book. So each book has a different triplet featured on the cover. So those are the three books that are in the Sweet Venom series. So, as for the future of this series, I don't currently have any plans for writing more books. I have some ideas, maybe, but nothing that's like very well formed or anywhere near me starting to write them. I do have a couple of short story ideas that I think I'm going to go ahead and write up. Um, and we'll put them on my website and maybe in a short story collection at some point. I'll give you a link below for where you can read the existing short stories in this series that are already on my website, but I might do a couple more. And then I have a couple of ideas for novellas for secondary characters, namely a couple of the boys that I think I want to do someday, but it's not on my immediate plan, but definitely on my someday plan. So that's everything there is to know about the Sweet Venom series right now. I have to say, it was the hardest thing I've ever done to write that trilogy, and it's kind of my favorite of the books that I've written so far. So I hope you'll check it out because the triplets are a lot of fun. So that's all about Sweet Venom. Until next time, stay magical.